Hi everyone! I'm so happy to be part of this fun event, the sewing seance. And today I will be sharing some simple practices that can have a huge impact on your workflow in your sewing space. And these tips are easy to implement but make a big difference in staying organized and efficient. So let's dive right in. From creative chaos to sewing success. Now let's see how a planner can transform your sewing projects. I'm Agnes Somogyi. I was lucky enough to learn to sew from my grandmother and my mother. The first piece I made for myself, as I remember, was a triangle bikini. I used to sew with Burda patterns because my mother collected all of Burda patterns since decades ago and I used them. My mother was very organized always. She neatly stored the patterns in envelopes with dates and everything, all the information, but I was a little bit messy that time and I preferred a more free-spirited approach. I folded just quickly the pieces and sketched the garment I made with them and I just stored them on my way. So since then I became a passionate textile designer. I studied in the university textile design and I also studied pattern making, digital pattern making and later surface pattern design as well and worked in different companies as designer and pattern maker for women's wear and swimwear companies. Now I also design textile prints for small brands or sell my fabrics with my prints. I also teach sewing for beginners and more advanced sewists in Palma where I live, and I offer advanced beginners simplified pattern making class online through my membership, the Body Positive Pattern Playground, where I teach them how to create patterns with different online tools to their measurements without having to create a pattern from scratch. So what's the struggle of being a creative in a mess? So maybe if you are like I was before, you know, when you are trying to figure out a pattern piece or it's disappeared or you just find a piece, you don't know what this belongs to. I know this exactly. If we don't store our patterns in an effective way, some plastic folder or envelope, the pieces can fall out. It's hard to find them when we want to reuse them and we will find them with wrinkles and broken if it's not stored properly. Also, if we don't note down all the information we need, later we don't identify the pattern pieces and we won't really be able to reuse them if we don't know the size, the model, which pattern is and what piece. Also, often we make changes. Also, when we use commercial patterns with standard sizes, we won't remember later if we make changes, if we have to change the length or have to modify some part of the pattern to adjust it to our size. The documentation is essential to avoid future confusion about details from the past. So, without a proper system, you are always wondering, why can't I find all the pieces? How did I modify that pattern? Was it the waist or I just did just the length? What was that? What size did I use last time? Did I make any alterations? Control all these things. It's simpler than it looks. So if you plan, organize, and journal your sewing projects, you will know all these things. If you are using a proper planner and journal, no more scrambling to find the lost pattern piece or wondering the changes you made. You will have everything in one place. This is how my free PDF planner that you can download and print can help you with all planning and organizing and journaling. You can download this planner for free and you will find this is very easy and fun. So first step, we need to plan. In the planner, you will find all these pages and we will see some of them and how they can help you. It's very important. Have your measurements on hand. So every time you start a new project, you don't have to take your measurements again and again. You just go to this page where you have written down all your measurements. On the left, you can see the measurement guide. So this will help you know how you have to measure the most important measurements, and using this sheet will ensure your projects are accurate using always your up-to-date measurements. And just a tip, if you check your measurements yearly, whether if you have lost or gained some centimeters or inches, your planner will be up to date. So the measurements will be ready when you need them. You can be on a diet and it will be different, or after vacations, whatever, you will know the current measurements of your body. Become your own fashion designer. Sketch your ideas. Even your drawing isn't your superpower. Doesn't matter if you cannot create wonderful drawing. Have all your ideas visually sketched down. It will help you make a clear decision on style, fabric, and fit and colors when you create a new garment. These templates you can print out and you can make your sketches. You will have this page where you have two fashion sketch from front and back, and you can draw here your chosen design in more detail. You will see if you really like it or you want to change the length, the neckline or something. Here you can visualize how it will look like, and it will be easier for you to imagine how it will look like. Also, you can add the colors, stick your fabric samples. You will have the plan of your garment. So now you can plan what you want to do. You have different ideas, what you want to make for yourself. If you make a plan for the week or for the month, you will know which garment has more priority because you have to finish, because you have to go to an event, you want to wear your own me-made clothes. So now you will see what do you want to make, and you can make the list, which is the more important, which weekend do you want to make it. So when you need to have all the materials, you can write down what you will need. By thread for that fabric, you need the fabric or you need some lining. You write down, and when you are at the moment when you can sit down and sew and cut, you will have everything prepared. Also, when you set your goals and you know what will you do and then you finish it, tracking your completed projects will give you a sense of achievement and motivation that yes, I planned it and I did it. Also, you will know what to buy and can use your fabric already in your stash. So the planner helps you track every yard, so you can stop buying more fabric just for buying because you like it. So you will have the plan. Now the organization is the next step. When we have different patterns and we have to store them in a way that later when we need them, we will find them. So in the planner, you will find these pattern labels that you can print, cut out, and stick on the envelope, for example, if you use an envelope system, and you will know what's inside. It will be easy to find when you want to search for it. And if you add categories, you will have all the pants patterns and skirt patterns in the same block, so it will be easy to find them. Also, these labeled folders ensure each pattern has a designated spot, so you will keep your patterns tidy and you will prevent patterns from wrinkling and getting damaged. So you just fold them, and with a bigger size envelope you can store them very neatly. You will save time and frustration when you need to find a pattern that, okay, I made this 2 years ago, I think, and it was that. You will be able to find it much more easier than if you don't organize your patterns. So you will save tons of time and stress because you will never have search in a mountain of unnamed pattern and separated pieces. So we have planned our projects and organized. Now with the journaling, you will be able to go further. So in the journal part, you will find sheets for all the patterns, and pattern hack, you can write down what pattern you made, what size did you print or what size did you use for that. If you had to make some adjustment to get a better fitting, you will write down or you will draw. You can use whichever you prefer. You have sheets for both, and you can add the fabrics and all the information that will help you in the future if you want to repeat and you don't have to remember what have I done in 5 years ago. So you can track the transformations. So document pattern hacks and alterations. So you can easily recreate them. If you make pattern hacks, you can write down what was the initial pattern and what kind of modifications you did to gain the new style or whatever you are creating, and what kind of modifications you made. And also it will help you. Sometimes you want to go back and how did I did with this pattern, so I want to make with another pattern the same. So it will help you remember all these things. If you are a visual person, you can draw everything down to remember. This way you will avoid mistakes and learn from past issues and avoid repeating the same errors. Also, you will improve your skills, and journaling helps track your progress and refine your techniques over time. You will know all the fitting details made to your unique body measurements. For example, creating pants, you will know, okay, I always have to make the flat seat adjustment. So, okay, how was that? How I did that? So you will be able to come back and see the process to make that kind of adjustments that you usually need for your body shape. Let's see the journal and organizer in action. Still my system. For example, here are these pants I made for myself, and I will show you how I documented all I made with the pattern. So first I made sketches how I wanted my pants to be. So if I wanted with gathers or pleats, and then decided which one I liked the most. Then I created a more detailed image to visualize all the details, how wide you want the waistband or how short the patterns and things like that. So you can color with your colors of the fabric, add your swatches, and then I wrote down all the important informations, what pattern I used for the basic pattern, what kind of adjustments needed the pattern to get a better fit, to add the length or these kind of things, and which size I used for the pattern and all these details. And then as I wanted to transform the basic pattern into pants that has elastic waistband, so I had to create the different pieces, the pleats wider and deeper. So I wrote down all these kind of things I changed on the pattern. Then I stored the pattern pieces in a big size envelope and added all the knots to the pattern labels. And then now I have everything organized. I can store all these pattern hack and pattern pieces with my patterns, or if you prefer, you can add it with all the planner pages banded together. It's up to you. And if you want to know more about these patterns, I created this blog post, how to make pants patterns from measurements online. Here, step by step with video tutorials, I explain how I modified the basic pants pattern. So now let's summarize what will you gain by planning, organizing, and journaling your sewing projects. Planning your sewing projects helps you stay focused and have a clear vision of what to do next. It also ensures that everything is prepared when you start your sewing session. Organizing your patterns and having everything documented helps you find your patterns quickly and makes it easier to repeat your favorite patterns. It will be much quicker to recreate that garment. And journaling your projects will help you when you want to use patterns you have modified and you want to make transformations and create new styles, and you will be able to transform them with confidence to create something completely new. So, planning, organizing, and journaling your sewing projects, you will go from this chaos to calm and an organized sewing room and a mess-free creative mind, focused on what you love the most, making beautiful garments and quickly growing your me-made wardrobe. You will find much easier and quicker this process. So, if you are ready to sew smarter, not harder, get your free planner and take control of your creative process. So, and you will find the link, the PDF you received when the sewing seance started, or you can find it on my website for free to download. I hope this short presentation has given you some useful tips and tricks to help you start organizing your sewing projects in a new way. With these simple changes, I'm sure you will enjoy the sewing and creating process even more. Thank you and bye-bye.